renewal, you'll be shocked to notice that the city is actually a bustling one. Quite clear, the traffic is easing because there are many connecting routes and giving you options, from wherever. But above all, I believe is what he's trying to do in what is called the New Yola or the New Jamaica settlement around Malkoi area ahead of the barracks road there. It's a stretch of more than 10 to 15 kilometer, expansion where you are having very ambitious housing units there being constructed with about 100 and modern construction facilities being put in place for people there and making it going to be the new city of Jamaica ahead of the entire town. So that is quite exciting, as you did mention, that quite a number of things are happening along the state and all across, and local governments are getting the attention that is sincerely required. There are a lot of roads being constructed in those local governments, and there are expansion and the place is getting clearer. Our state is becoming quite open to move. You will not have any hold up along the line and any difficulty along that particular place. There are quite a number of things happening, even at the local government level. The new primary school, the secondary school are there. That's the model schools. And if you go there, imposing structures you see everywhere, in connection to quite a number of projects around this town and all across the state. So that in itself is something else. At the moment, we're counting how many flyovers that are finished within the nick of not quite more than 12 calendar months, and people are applying them. The ultra market is, modern market is going on, the construction is fast sprouting, and quite a number of things are connecting. To that, I can say that you need to just come around to see exactly what it is. Somebody was telling me the last time he was flying into Yola, he was shocked to see that the distribution even alarmed him, because he was on a mission, that allowed him to see the entire aerial view of the city. And that alarmed him a lot. And he came with a lot of commendation for what Governor Ahmadu Fintri.
Right. But in terms of road network, Dr. Gamza, in terms of road network, how many kilometers of road are we talking about here? Because I've listened to the governor at different times. His intention is to grant remote communities better access to markets and public services. So for the purpose of clarity, how many kilometers of roads or hundreds of kilometers of roads are we talking about here?
Yeah, one cannot be precise, in terms of the fact that quite a number of them are ongoing. Today, there is another expansion going on from one area to another. But you will accept with me that Adamawa State is networked with nothing less than 600 to 800 kilometers around if you are to take it on the raw. If you are taking from, the southern part to the extreme north, you are looking at kilometers that are up to 300, and then connecting local governments that are off-road, into other places like Mubi, Maiha, into some stretches, quite a number of them really are on the highway there, on the federal government highway. But by the time you begin to take deep into them, places like Shillong in the extreme southern north, and then you go to places like Ganye and Tongo, and then you move to quite a number of the local governments. Honestly, you'll not be embarrassed. No, it's not a question of specifying the number of kilometers. There's a number of seeing exactly what it's been able to do, at least in that particular aspect. Because transportation in our state is quite fast, it's open, and we're enjoying our big vehicles, big buses, the French air buses, which are large enough in the yellow colors, as you can see them. They're applying the roads and coming back safe. And virtually, people that are in here, with the exception of where we can tell you that is the federal routes that have been our problems, particularly connecting states or something like that, right inside Adamawa itself, the networks are quite good and friendly enough for you to travel.
All right, Dr. Gamza, I expected you to have an exact figure for us because these infrastructure projects were budgeted for, I think. But talking about rural communities in Adamawa State, they've always suffered from colossal market failures. Is the government looking into rural electrification at all, especially to underdeserved areas?
The power problem is the national problem. But I assure you that recently has launched an ambitious, at least, solar lighting project, which is going to come by zones and is going to touch virtually nearly all the local governments. Now, wherever hospitals are in the state, that are state hospitals, in almost literally every local government, They're going to have that, and I believe that is going to give them direct impact of what is sincerely expected as far as well electrification is concerned. I know that he's planning big, and I know that there's a lot that he's doing along the line to even get us to the balance of hydro, where we have a dam at Curie, to ensure that he gets it right for us to have more and even export outside here. So it is not something to narrow down and say it's just a small project that somebody can just bankroll, in the nick of a time and get the miracle that is sincerely required. But I assure you that is being done because school facility, health facilities, and quite a number of them are also receiving the attention that is required as far as that aspect is concerned. It is something that we cannot blame the federal government for, but I think it's a collective responsibility that's come upon us to look at what the states can do, to complement what the federal government has done or is doing presently to improve the power supply. But for him, there is a master plan. In addition to the road networks that he's making to connect different places, he's doing his best to make sure that the essential facilities of government are actually powered through the solar system.
All right, we'll come back to infrastructure if time permits us. But let's talk about another initiative, Fintiri Business Wallet, which is under the Poverty Alleviation and the Wealth Creation Agency. Is this still running? What impact has it made so far, especially with the young people of the state?
Yeah, with me, it's a testimony. Somebody's selling grasshopper, somebody's selling groundnuts, somebody's selling peanuts. I've met testimonies and I've seen, because I've been privileged myself, at least to be part of those people that have to nominate people that will do that. And I've seen how far it has gone to reach the people. In December alone, we're talking about hundreds of thousands, of people that have benefited, from this particular wallet, and it is affecting them directly. So much consideration is most sincerely given, in the area of trying to balance it, particularly, for those of us that are on the gender side and trying to see how women can do. I can comfortably tell you that by the time you look at the entire flash of what he has done, he has empowered more women than even the men. The 60% tilt is on statistics and figures that are quite available there for us to see. In fact, you will even be shocked to notice that those given the testimony are ladies and women.
Dr. Gamza, I'm particularly about the youth, the young people of Adamawa State.
Yes, definitely the scheme is out there and is mostly benefiting them. And I've received testimonies. Like I told you, I've had people talk, I've discussed with them, I've interviewed them, and I've asked them what they've put that particular thing to do with, and they've done it. So the young people are quite happy. And added to the fact that, on his own, there is an ambitious employment scheme that he's trying to launch one of these days, and that is going to take quite a number of these graduates into, the establishment system and make them to be.
All right, so for the ICT...
I'm aware of his...
Dr. Gamza, we have 30 minutes for this conversation. So for the ICT for Empowerment Corridor, the administration of Governor Fintiri claims to have trained over 100,000 youths with the necessary skills for survival. What about job placement for these young talents, or does the government intend to leave them to their fate? Did you get that question? Dr. Gamza, are you there? All right. Since we lost connection with Dr. Gamza, let's take a break and I'll be right back.
I'm Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
There is always more to a story than the scribbled headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Welcome back to Politics Tonight, everyone. Thank you very much for staying with us on the program. Dr. John Gamza, Special Advisor to Governor of Interior and Communications and Strategy, is my guest tonight. Dr. Gamza, thank you so much for staying with us on the program. Before we lost connection with you, I wanted you to address another initiative of the governor, the administration of Governor of Interior, ICT for Empowerment Corridor. The administration claims to have trained over 100,000 youths with the necessary skills for survival. What about job placements for these young talents, or does the government intend to leave them to their fate?
Yes, like I was trying to tell you, no government in the whole wide Nigeria can take up all the youth, except you do what he's doing presently. That I believe he's doing by trying to bring the youth together, giving them the necessary skills and exposing them to the possibility of how they can stand on their own. If you watch the ICT war, you'll accept with me that the job opportunities there after bridging the skills are more, than even being engaged in government. Like I told you, he's not only looking at that, he's creating, opportunities and hubs and groups of people that are interested in the whole thing and moving into markets and seeing what these young people are doing with the GSM wall and the ICT facilities with the phones and whatnot. In addition to quite a number of those skills that are there, he's working with concerned groups and NGOs around here to see how some of these young people can get startups. And I believe that package is on the way, and it will soon come up at least and register exactly what he's trying to do. Now, addressing the second aspect of your concern is the fact that you really cannot just wake up and enlarge the size of your own civil service and place virtually everybody there without making due consideration to what they would do. But even that is having a growth ambition, a very big ambition of trying to engage quite a number of these youth, particularly at the graduate level, to ensure that they have something doing, and very soon that scheme will be launched.
All right. So 3 months ago, the state government announced its commitment to allocating 3 billion naira towards addressing the areas of pension and gratuities for the state retired civil servants. Has the government fulfilled that commitment?
Yeah, definitely. I can tell you on good record that payments of pensions have been due. You retire, it doesn't take you 2 months, and then you get on the payroll, and then facilities are being provided, through the revolving whatever it is, and it is going around. Quite a number of them are getting their gratuities, and things are moving on as expected.
All right.
I think that is the human face of what he has done. If you can look at the money, called 3 billion, to be into pension allowances and other things like that, that tells you that he's sincerely true about it. And you can get the testimony even from retired civil servants, out of which quite a number of us are, and a number of my friends, and a number of them are not complaining at all.
So with these recent developments going on in the state and more to come, as the governor puts into consideration the feelings of those who won't stop saying development is concentrated mostly within the state capital. You denied it during our last conversation, but these reports have not stopped coming. Isn't it high time the governor looked into this sort of allegations so these accusations can be put to rest?
Accusations by people who are not even in the state, is something that you have to take it and just look at it off. But I assure you that what the governor is doing, at local government levels alone, is beyond what people are expecting. Look at the road expansion scheme that we're talking about, the health facilities and the hospitals in different places, the school infrastructure, and then the ambitious thing that he's doing over food security, acquiring and opening lands, for farming and even storage of foodstuff and quite a number of things. These are grand, ambitious things that have taken billions and humongous amount of money beyond what he's even doing here in the state capital. But by the time we tell you that opening up a state capital gives the state more stability, most people will not understand. We are not having crimes and difficulties of people coming into our state and getting stranded and not having access to move out of this place. I assure you, it's part of what the urban infrastructure can do, in boosting to help exactly what the rural infrastructure is doing. As it is, in development planning generally, you really cannot develop a local government above the state capital. For that doing, some of these local governments are good enough and they're also expanding, given the facilities that they're on disposal and therefore also demanding. Now, if you go to Mubi, for instance, that is housing quite a number of federal institutions. The Federal Polytechnic is there, the State University is there. Now there is another Federal University of Agriculture. You'll notice that he has expanded the roads in there. Mubi can no longer.
Okay, Dr. Gams, are you there? Dr. Gams, if you can hear me, before I let you go tonight, it looks like the governor finally bowed to pressure because I remember 3 years ago, many communities had been asking or advocating for the creation of additional chiefdoms. However, some political leaders or watchers in the state say there was no pressure from anyone. This is a political move by the governor. But now there are additional chiefdoms and emirates, about 7 in number. How does this new development deepen communal harmony and address local government gaps in the state?
Pardon?
Did you hear that question, Dr. Gamza? Okay, quickly.
Yeah, ask it again.
Quickly, in less than 1 minute. I was saying it looks like the governor finally bowed to pressure. For 3 years now, many communities in the states have been advocating for the creation of additional chiefdoms. But some political leaders in the state say there was no pressure from anyone. This is a political move by the governor. But now that there are additional chiefdoms and emirates, about 7 in number, how does this new development deepen communal harmony and address local governance gaps? That's the question.
Yeah, you see, for those people talking about all these emirates and chiefdoms, it's just that they've not been in the state around here to see exactly what that is. And I told you that this is not the first time somebody is doing it. Other states have done it before. Ours is just following. But ours came with a lot of consideration and quite understanding of the yearnings of the people, because they visited the governor, they came with their own request, and that also has been properly done, well planned, well articulated, and done in such a way that nobody is left out of it, at the first phase of what he's doing presently. Now, you'll accept with me that traditional rulers have become an integral and important part of our own existence in this country, and some of those communities left out also needed what we're talking about presently.
All right.
And I assure you that in their own work and what they're doing, they're doing it in quite consideration of the need to enhance their history, need to bring cohesion and need to support the government.
All right, Dr. Gamza, looks like we may have to postpone this conversation. We had just 30 minutes for this whole conversation, but I'm sure we'll have it some other time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Dr. John Gamza, Special Advisor to Governor of Interior on Communications and Strategy. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Nice hearing your voice from there. TVC, fantastic.
Thank you. And thank you very much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at midnight. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatuji. Good night, everyone.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together. Coming up in the month of February, on the 2nd of February is the World Wetlands Day, and the 4th of February is the day set aside to create awareness on cancer. On the 6th of February, we turn our attention to the International Day of Zero Tolerance to Female Genital Mutilation. On the 11th of February, we celebrate International Day of Women and Girls in Science. On the 13th of February is the World Radio Day. On the 14th of February is Valentine's Day. On the 17th of February is dedicated as the World Global Tourism Resilience Day. And by the 24th of February, it will be 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine. Stay tuned to TVC News as we bring you reports and analysis of these events.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just